You send a voice message. Nothing dramatic. You hit record, say what you need to say, send it. But sometimes you check it first. And in that half second between pressing play and hearing yourself talk back, something short circuits. That is not what I sound like. You already know this feeling. Everyone does. On a voicemail, a video call recording, a podcast you regretted saying yes to. Same reaction. Every time. A flinch, a wince, a quiet internal scream. I sound terrible. Something is wrong with this recording. So let's actually ask the real question instead of just wincing and moving on. Why does the one voice you've heard every single day of your entire life turn into an unrecognizable stranger the second it's played back to you from outside your own skull? You'd expect your own voice of all things to be the one sound you recognize instantly. Instead, it's the one sound that reliably throws people off. Something bigger is going on here. And once you see what it actually is, you won't think about your own voice the same way again. Obvious first guess, it's the equipment. Cheap mic, tinny speaker, bad compression, comforting theory, because it means nothing's wrong with you, just the hardware. Except that doesn't survive contact with reality. Modern microphones, even the ones built into your phone, are remarkably accurate at capturing voice. That's their entire job. Audio engineers will tell you plainly. For an ordinary recording, the file isn't lying to you. And it's not just about having an awkward voice either, because the people who know you best, who've heard you talk thousands of times in person, aren't bothered by your voice at all. They recognize it instantly and think nothing of it. The discomfort is oddly specific to exactly one listener. You. Play that same recording for your best friend, your mom, a total stranger. They know it's you immediately. No hesitation. Mix your voice into a lineup of strangers' voices and play it for people who know you. They'll pick you out in seconds. Play that same lineup to you. And most people hesitate. Some get it wrong. So out of every person on earth who has ever heard your voice, there is exactly one person who can't reliably recognize it. You. That's not a technology problem. That's a you problem. And the answer goes back further than you'd think. In 1966, two psychologists, Philip Holzman and Clyde Rousey, sat people down, recorded them talking, and played it straight back. The reactions weren't subtle. People got visibly uneasy. Some stumbled over their words, trying to explain why the voice felt wrong. They named the phenomenon voice confrontation. And it went deeper than pitch or tone. Recordings exposed things people never consciously noticed while speaking. Hesitation, nerves, sadness buried in a pause. That tracks with how you already listen to everyone else. You can tell a friend is upset on the phone within 4 words from a waver or a pause that runs half a second too long without even trying. You're just bad at doing that for yourself because while you're talking, your attention is on what you're saying, not how it sounds. A recording strips that shield away. A later study found only 38% of people could even confirm a recording was their own voice within a few seconds of hearing it. 38%. Worse than a coin flip about the one voice they'd used their entire lives. So why would your brain be this unreliable about something this basic? Because here's the twist. You have never once heard your real voice. When you speak, sound reaches your ears 2 completely different ways at once. 1. Through the air, same as everyone else hears you. 2. Straight through the bones of your own skull, vibrating directly into your inner ear from the inside. No air required. Try it. Plug both ears tightly and keep talking. You'll still hear yourself clearly. That's bone conduction doing all the work. Now plug your ears and play a recording instead. Almost silent because a recording only ever captured the air-conducted half. Bone carries low frequencies far more efficiently than air does, so your own skull has been quietly adding extra depth and bass to your voice. Live, for an audience of exactly 1. You. Nobody else has ever gotten that bonus. This isn't some minor effect either. Beethoven, once almost completely deaf, kept composing by clenching a wooden rod between his teeth and resting the other end on his piano. The vibrations traveled straight through the rod, into his jaw, and into his skull, bypassing his failing ears entirely. Some of his most celebrated music was written that way. If bone conduction is powerful enough to let a deaf composer hear a symphony, it's more than powerful enough to quietly reshape the voice you hear in your own head every day, which leaves an uncomfortable question. If your everyday voice has a secret bass boost nobody else gets, which version is actually real? Here's the part that should genuinely mess with you. The recording isn't the fake one. It's the accurate one. Every person who's ever known you, friends, family, anyone who's complimented your voice has been hearing the exact same air-only signal sitting in that recording you just cringed at. That's the voice that's been out in the real world this entire time. You're not hearing a distorted version of yourself. You might be hearing yourself correctly for the first time. Put that together with a lifetime of identity quietly built on the private, bone-boosted version, and voice confrontation stops looking weird. It's the predictable result of your self-image being built on a signal nobody else ever received. There's a study that shows exactly how tangled this gets with ego. People rated a recorded voice as more attractive than average, right up until they were told it was their own. Same file, same audio, only the label changed and the rating dropped immediately. That's not a hearing problem anymore. That's your ego stepping into the room the second identity gets attached to a sound. So what if you could hear your real voice live, as you're speaking, instead of only after the fact? Researchers have actually started testing this with bone conduction headphones, feeding people a live version of their outside voice in real time. And early findings suggest this internal versus external split isn't just an audio quirk. It might be part of how your brain tells your own voice apart from everyone else's in the first place, one of the most basic ingredients of having a sense of self, and scientists are only just beginning to understand how it works. There's a stranger, more current wrinkle too. AI voice cloning can now recreate a convincing air-only version of someone's voice from a small sample, the exact version the world has always heard, that you've never actually heard correctly yourself. Which means a computer clone of your voice might, in a strange technical sense, sound more correct to everyone around you than any impression you could do of yourself from memory. That same technology has also been used by scammers to imitate loved ones' voices in fake emergency calls. Worth knowing since it's now a real security concern, not just a curiosity. One more thing worth knowing. This fades. Broadcasters, singers, anyone who hears their recorded voice constantly report the cringe softens with repetition. Your brain updates the model. It just needs the exposure. So back to that voice message. Next time you catch yourself cringing at the playback, you're not broken and you're not secretly bad-voiced. You just met the version of you that's been out there the entire time. The one your friends already know, the one they already like just fine. Maybe the strangest part isn't even the voice itself, it's the idea that a version of you, the one the rest of the world has experienced this whole time, has been walking around out there without you ever actually meeting it. Until one recording forces the introduction. And once you do meet it, nothing about you has actually changed. You've just caught up to what everyone who knows you already knew. You've seen it every day. Now you know why. And if your own voice can trick you this badly for your entire life without you noticing, it's worth wondering what else about yourself might be built the exact same way.